The title of this video is going to be You Are Being Elevated. Okay, chosen ones. You are being elevated. Elevation is also sometimes triggered by discomfort. And I'm going to share something with you guys. So, I was on holiday a couple of months, depending on when you see the video, maybe months or weeks. And before I went on holiday, I got a letter of repossession. Now, there was this place I used to stay. I had been there. It had been my healing spot. Okay, so most of you guys who don't know, the place that you've been seeing most of my videos, in that particular place, that is where my purpose was born. Okay, so I stayed in that place for some years. I was working on myself. I was healing. I was putting in the inner work, and then first couple of years things were smooth, and then towards the end, I started noticing some shifts in the energy. Okay, now there was very uncomfortable shifts. I started feeling like there was toxic people in that vicinity. I couldn't put a finger on it. Sometimes I could almost, but I started figuring out there was toxic people in that vicinity. And those toxic people made the place very uncomfortable to live. Okay? Is that making sense, guys? So the place became uncomfortable. And then, of course, one event led to another one. And eventually, even before I set off holidays, I had this letter of repossession. Oh, we need the property. I said, okay. All right, we need the place, we need the building, we need the property. So for the most of you guys who are living in their own properties, you are the lucky ones, okay? The ones who are renting, those kind of things are very common. I was like, okay, I'm on the way to the holidays, so you have to wait when I come back. And I'll start processing my exit. So I was given 2 weeks to leave. So I went on holidays. Everything was okay. I came back. And I was reminded to leave the place immediately. Okay? I said, okay, give me some time to move. I just arrived. I've been on holidays, so I don't know what is going on. I need to look around. No, 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 no. You need to move now, now, now. So I was like, oh, okay. So I walked out to go to the shops. I hadn't even yet unpacked my bags. I walked out to go to the shops and pick up something. So I met somebody. You guys need to follow this story. There's something I want you to learn. It was just within a period of 2 hours, being pressured to leave that vicinity. So I met this guy. Oh, we talk a little bit. Oh, how is it going? Oh, oh, where have you been? It's a long time. I haven't seen you. I say, yeah, yeah. I've not been around. I just came back from holiday. I've just arrived today. And then I told this person what was happening. I said, brother, I'm looking for a house. Do you know somewhere? Can you point somewhere that I can ask? So in that particular time, there was a guy outside of the shop. And he told me there's a guy outside of the shop. He's looking for tenants. Are you guys following? I said, oh, really? Okay. So I looked outside, I saw the guy, we talked. He said, yeah, I have a friend of mine, he's looking for tenants. They have got this flat and everything. I said, wow, really? Okay. So he gave me the contacts. I contacted the guy. In a couple of minutes, the guy arrived. He took me to the building. When I saw the building, I said, okay, I can handle this. You know, it's safe, it's nice, it's clean. I can handle this. We agreed on the prices and everything, and he gave me the house. Can I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that in the next day, I called the van and I moved to the new flat. I arrived on that day of arrival. I got the contacts. I got the house. The next day, I moved out of the house. But you see, back in the days, I was trying to move from this place. I thought that maybe I need to expand a little bit, move somewhere much more free, more free, peaceful. I was always contemplating on moving, but any attempts I made to move didn't work. For some mysterious reason, all the applications I made didn't work. It felt as if I was struggling with something I didn't know. And then I figured out that it wasn't my time to move. Now, why am I telling each other ones that you are being elevated? There's something you have got to know. The more you continue to work on your personal elevation, growth, spirituality, frequency, and vibration, you start to vibrate at a certain frequency. And that frequency does no longer welcome or accommodate your current living space, your current job, your current family. It can be any setting. If you want to know the secret of the universe, think about those three things: frequency, energy frequency, and vibration. Now, when you work on that, your own internal feeling, how do you feel from the inside? How are you feeling? Do you feel happy? Are you working on yourself? Are you healing yourself? Are you working on your traumas? Now, what really happens is that spiritually, your energetic frequency will start shifting to a higher frequency. And when you vibrate at that frequency, what is now going to happen? The universe will know that this person is no longer a match to this current vicinity. And again, it is a family, it is your place where you live, it is a job, it is anything. Now what is going to happen? The universe is going to, so that's how you see the signs. The universe is going to start creating some very uncomfortable circumstances around you. You'll hear the neighbors playing loud music. Sometimes you'll find some stuff in front of your door. Sometimes you'll find somebody threw some eggs at your window. Sometimes you may find things like, there is things that are happening in that area, okay? It could be a block of flats or it could be buildings. Maybe sometimes somebody walked their dog and that dog pooped in front of your door. There's going to be things that are going to start happening around you that are going to make that place uncomfortable. Now, for a spiritual person like me, which I think you already are, if you're not, then you need to listen closely. You're going to pay attention to the activities that are happening around that vicinity, okay? Your landlord is going to start becoming very furious, very angry with you. They will start naming you things. They will start doing something. Sometimes they don't. There will be things that are going to start happening around you. And those things are going to make it extremely, that place you're living at the moment, if it's a job, is going to become extremely toxic. The boss is after you. They're giving you loads of work. They're working you overtime. Sometimes they're struggling to pay you. You're going to see all these kind of things happening. The only thing you need to understand and you need to pay attention to, you need to look outside of you. You need to look inside of you. Don't pretty much focus on outside of you. There is something the universe is showing you, okay? The universe is preparing you to move. The universe is preparing you to move from that situation and put you in a pretty much better place where you can feel safe and peaceful. If it's a job, for example, the job has become extremely toxic. All the workmates are after you. Everybody is throwing stuff in your workplace. Things are happening all over the work. What is really happening behind the scenes? The universe is making it uncomfortable for you. So there may be sometimes situations where you might even experience suspension or sometimes expulsion. And the boss in that particular place may decide to set you off, okay? get you out of that vicinity. They don't want you there. Like in my case, I was talking about repossession because I had already vibrated out of that frequency in that particular place. And now that's where I was able to start seeing. You see, back in the days, I never pretty much focused on who was around that place. Okay, I didn't pretty much focus on who was around the place. I was pretty much flowing with everything. But then at some point, my energetic frequency switched. Okay, considering the work I'd been doing on myself, the energy switched automatically, and now I started to recognize those people in that vicinity was very toxic people. Okay, that is when I knew that, oh, this place actually is no longer serving me. Okay, I've already done the healing work. I'm doing better emotionally, mentally. I'm in a better place mentally. Now it was time for me to elevate, okay, and vacate that vicinity because it was no longer serving my highest good. Now, for most of you guys, regardless of where you are, it's going to be the same thing. It may be family where you may just wake up one day and you start figuring out that your brother hates you. It has been your best buddy. You used to flow along with your sister. Everything was okay. Out of the blue, you don't know how it happened. Your sister starts hating on you. Your brother starts hating on you. Your father starts throwing these insults, raging at you, stuff like that. And now you're starting to feel like this family is not that family you thought you knew. Okay? You're seeing a different side of the family and you're feeling uncomfortable. You feel like there is something needs to change. Either you can quit the family or you can give them some space. So it's why you see sometimes a lot of these black sheep and scapegoats. They start unplugging from the unit because they are now starting to get this energetic, this energy, okay, that is making them extremely uncomfortable. So for you to experience any form of change, there is something you need to know, ladies and gentlemen. Where you are at that current time is going to become inhabitable. The place is going to become inhabitable. The place is going to become extremely toxic. The place is going to become uncomfortable to a degree you have not seen before. And back in the days, things could have been flowing smoothly. You was flowing along. You used to live there. Nothing happened. Maybe that job, you used to work there. I worked in my last job for 2 years. I could give you another simple example. I worked in my last job for 2 years. And in the beginning, things were smooth. We could smile along with people, help each other, whatever, support each other. Things were okay. And as the time went on, I started recognizing changes. The people that used to smile back in the days, crack some jokes here and there, all of them started turning their faces. And I was like, what exactly is going on here? And then eventually I would later on learn that there were some things that were being said behind my back, okay? Which is one of the reasons why they fired me from that work. So one day like that, the boss my supervisor just called me, oh, you know what, I've talked to the boss and this, and they wanted to leave. They wanted to leave. They didn't even want an explanation. So that's when you know that you're being elevated. There's people that are sacking you and firing you. This is very powerful. Listen to this one. One of the biggest signs that you're about to be elevated is when you are going to be sacked out of places. You may be sacked from your job. You are trying to find out the reason, what is going on. Okay, you're trying to ask around, what did I do? No, there's nothing you did. There is nothing you did. You have simply vibrated out of that energy, okay? Your energy is way above the place that you are at the moment. So that's why things are becoming uncomfortable. So the boss sometimes is going to recognize that they don't want you around. They're just going to tell you things like, you need to leave. We don't need your services. You need to go. Another case, like for example, the house, you may start seeing things as repossession. Oh, we need to, they give you repossession notice, or sometimes they can give you an eviction notice. And you're trying to ask around, what is the problem? What did I do? Did I do anything wrong? No, you didn't do anything wrong. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something else. Do not fight change. This one is very powerful. Do not fight change. The change is happening for you. There is something you do not see. There is stuff that you're not seeing behind the scenes that are happening spiritually. There may even be sometimes people that are plotting to harm you. There could be people that are planning things against you that you even know nothing about. And these are the same guys that are smiling at you. So there is things that the enemy is planning to do that you cannot see. That's why the universe is doing the secret behind the scenes The universe is doing the work. The universe is making the moves to make sure that they can get you out of that place into a much more safer place. So those are the things that have been happening around the world with so many different kinds of people. And the moment you vacate that vicinity and you move to another place, and sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean that you may move to a very comfortable place. It may just be moving you to safety. You may, for example, get out of a toxic environment. You may go and sleep in your car for about a week or two, or maybe sometimes even 3. But you're going to notice that you are much more happier in your car than you was when you was living around certain people. So the energy in your car is even better for you than the energy which was around the place that you used to live, however comfortable it might have seemed. So you guys have to be very careful that sometimes there is work that is being done behind the scenes. There is things that you're not seeing. Chosen ones, you need to understand this. There is things you cannot see. There is moves that the universe is doing behind the scenes you cannot understand. So whenever change is calling, you can feel that thing in your gut stomach telling you, leave this place, get away. Get away from these people, they're not good for you. You feel everybody is attacking you, things are going on in your house, you know, somebody's switching off your electrics, something is happening around that place. You have to know. You are about to be elevated. Even if you don't see the details, you may not really figure out the details. You know, it's what I've told you so many times in my videos. There is things you do not have to figure out. You know, we live in a very spiritual world whereby there is many things that are happening behind the scenes that you cannot see. But if you are sharp enough, you can read the signs, okay? So signs of discomfort, usually, they are signs that you're about to be elevated. So there is places you are meant to go. Because you see, God has got a destiny for you. God has got somewhere He has prepared for you. There's a beautiful place God has prepared for you. And sometimes you're sticking around and you're really clinging on to the wrong people. You're really clinging on to toxic environments, homes. There's some jobs you're trying to keep. Those jobs are not taking you anywhere. They're paying you the same money. They're abusing you at your workplace. Sometimes you're not even paid. You're being given loads of work, but you're clinging on to the job because that is the only thing you can recognize. But spiritually, there is something happening that you may not understand. There is somewhere God wants you to move. But before that happens, God is going to switch up some energy in that particular place, and you will experience something that they call a tower moment. Now, that tower moment will happen whereby everything is all of a sudden going to fall apart. When that chaos starts happening, I can promise you, even if you don't know that already, there is something that is happening. You're supposed to move within a couple of weeks or months. You're going to realize the reason as to why there were some things that happened in that place that you used to live. No. Are you guys following? There is things that was happening in that place you used to live that are making it uncomfortable for you, and you are feeling like you need some time to live by force. And sometimes you're going to get up even sometime without nobody pushing you, and you're going to start moving away from that vicinity. The only time you will recognize the place that you were supposed to go is when you will actually see. You will reach that destination and you will look back and you will see the reason as to why some things was happening around you. That is because you couldn't see what was going on. You was being made uncomfortable so that you could make some moves. You see, sometimes change requires you to get uncomfortable so that you may sometimes be forced to get out of certain places and conditions and situations. Okay? Those are some of the biggest signs that you will find out and you will know that you are being elevated. It is time for your elevation. It is time for change. Okay? Big changes are already headed your way when you see those things happening around you. So guys, let us know what you think about the video in the comment section below. You guys know I do love and appreciate your support. Please book a session if you want to. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. There's almost signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.